everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's Smith's Chiefs going up against Griffin's Browns. And with that, we'll send you up to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, which is where we'll find our broadcasting team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cleveland Browns. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take it. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A gain of 39 that time.
Defending a deep route, even when it's thrown on time, is very difficult. But when he's able to maneuver outside of the pocket, that's almost unfair. He's bought extra time. His offensive line has protected him. And now when the ball's in the air, the guy downfield has a chance to make a better adjustment. That's just wrong on every level as far as the defender is concerned.
To throw is RG3. Coleman has it here right side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Griffin now to throw on third down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
There's no sense of dancing around it. Not a lot of bright spots to talk about in Cleveland this year. But I think Isaiah Crowell, the running back, he's a guy we got to keep an eye on in the future. Short of 1,000 yards, but it's hard for him to get enough carries to get there.
Yeah, but he was healthy, started all 16 games. Coach Hugh Jackson, though, said it was his goal to get him to 1,000. You're right, though, just shy of that at 952. And how about what Pryor did this year on a 1-15 team? 77 catches, over 1,000 yards, and we saw what an athlete he can be. We saw that in college, but, man, he can do a lot.
And now he wants to be a wide receiver, and I think that's where the difference was, because you mentioned him being an athlete. He still wanted to be a quarterback, so he's resistant to making the move out wide. And now that he's doing it and doing it on a regular basis, I think this is the baseline of numbers we can come to expect from Terrell Pryor.
A first down carry now for Crowell. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. The starters for the Cleveland Browns. And let's discuss the tight end, Gary Barnidge. Sometimes he can get overlooked.
I love how he emerged in 2015. We had a scouting report on him that said he was a good blocker, a dependable receiver, but no stardom at all. Had a 1,000-yard season in 2015. No longer do we have those shackles on him at all. Gary Barnidge can play.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's third and short. They'll try to run for it with Crowell. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Isaiah Crowell, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. And it's up and good. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. Charles the lone setback. On first down, Smith. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
There are certain words that sometimes we overuse, but there's one that's really welcome on a player's resume, and that's the word breakout. And I thought Travis Kelce was one of the breakout stars of 2016 in the NFL. What a season he had with Kansas City.
Over 1,100 yards. Now, to put that into perspective with everybody else that was catching the football for them, the next closest had 593 for the Chiefs. So, breakout year indeed.
And for me, it's how he did it, because he did it in a variety of ways. Whether he's an inline tight end, a guy could split out and
looking for Macklin, and it's intercepted. And as the Cleveland Browns come back out on the field, they'll get going again on offense here in a second. But 1-15 this last year. And it's a franchise that since moving back to Cleveland in '99 has only been to the playoffs one time.
Hard to believe, right? Just 2 winning seasons in that time.
Yeah, only 2.
Well, but I think there's optimism to be had here in Cleveland. I think that the fans, it's tough for them to see it after another 1-15 season. But I think that they have a plan in place to move this franchise forward. Ownership, front office, head coach, all in lockstep together with a vision and a plan that they intend to execute.
He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time, and that'll bring up second down. And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
Eric Berry's the textbook definition of ball-hawking safety. You name it, he can do it on the football field.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They'll come out in the pistol. A fake to Crowell. Now it's Griffin. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up first and goal at the 5. And now here comes Kansas City. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
He was trying to get it off to Jamal Charles there. And it's second down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well. And he didn't get that done on that play.
On the run, it's Charles. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Now Smith on 3rd and goal. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, 4th down. Here's Cairo Santos now for the Chiefs field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they had great field position, but a 3-play drive that actually goes backwards, and then they kick the field goal.
And I think the key sequence in there, the key phrase you just gave us, a 3-play drive. Had the momentum, great field position, unable to move the football.
And after the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This is complete to Hawkins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And Griffin gives to Crowell. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Another pistol look here. On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
Griffin going to give to Crowell. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Now they'll throw it with Griffin. Pass incomplete. Isaiah Crowell, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
3rd and 11, and some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. On 3rd down, Griffin. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you...
And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 66 yards. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And still for me, with the injuries, every time he carries that football, you just kind of hold your breath, don't you?
You have to, because you noted it. The injuries in the past have derailed his career up until this point. Now we're seeing some more evidence of him using his legs again, but he does have to be careful. They need him out on the field.
Yeah, RG3, you got to have him out there. So explosive. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No,
you know I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they had been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Complete here to Gary Barnidge. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. NFL teams last year a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. Here we go on 4th down with Griffin. He finds Coleman. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a pickup of 17 there. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. From the red zone now, here's Griffin on 1st down. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. And they're going to speed things up here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Throwing again, Griffin. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, 3rd down. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2, now Griffin. Now look out, Griffin hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. And he's got the hook up for the first time with a veteran, Jeremy Maclin. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught inside the 5. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And now a first down following that long gain. They'll let Charles try and get him in. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On second down, here's Smith. On the move to his left. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Jeremy Maclin in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now he'll try, and this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often
looking for Maclin, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. After the interception, here's Griffin. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Justin Houston in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Now it's Crowell running right. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. A couple of Chiefs there to bring him down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves it.